Hanging up, he learns Sarah has been called to work because the president has decided to do a last-minute press briefing, which sounds rather sudden. At the office, Long continues to try to log in when the power goes out. He hears some voices coming from the corridor and rushes to hide. This allows Long to watch how US agents take away his computer and all his paperwork. In The Dutch Boy, Jake learns that the Afghanistan logs were wiped clean by the malfunction, so he orders the team to check the logs of the other satellites to track any signs of corruption. The next day, Max visits his friend Dana, a cybersecurity expert that works for the government IT department. He asks her to look into the blocking of the accounts, and Dana confirms someone programmed this to make it look as if it was part of a glitch, but it was definitely intentional. In The Dutch Boy, Jake has a video meeting with Max, who informs him that there may be some foul play involved in the incidents. Jake is glad to hear this because he knew the Dutch Boy had been built well, and Max authorizes him to retrieve the Hong Kong satellite. This causes an argument because Jake doesn't think he needs Max's permission to do anything, and Max reminds him that he had to clean up after Jake's dumb mistakes all the time after their parents died. He's tired of being responsible for his brother, so if Jake doesn't behave, he'll be fired again. The Hong Kong satellite arrives at the station, but suddenly, the robot arm that grabs it goes crazy and begins shaking around, damaging part of the hangar before dropping the satellite. The fall absolutely destroys the satellite and the team has to salvage the few parts that survived. Unfortunately, the accident created an electrical short and fried all the drives, so Jake thinks they don't have any proof of corruption to analyze. However, Doucette informs him he's been looking at the video of Habib's death and he's discovered something. The panels that exploded had drives in them, and one of them got stuck in the communication tower. Jake and Fassbinder go on a spacewalk to retrieve the panel, but out of a sudden Jake's suit begins malfunctioning and he loses control of his movements. The shaking causes him to drop the panel and get hit against the station, so he ejects his jetpack and manages to hold onto a wire to avoid floating away. Moments later, Fassbinder brings him back inside, and Jake reveals he took the drive from the panel before he let go of it. When the team checks on them, Jake doesn't tell them about the drive because he's sure his suit was sabotaged by one of them.